Hi, Joe Cerrone. Just a quick video on the Dremel 3D printer. This is the beginning of the print for the vase, and we'll be using the spiralize outer contour, which spiralizes the Z move of the outer edges. It actually kind of creates it like it's a cup. And so if we were to take a look at this, let me see if I can stop that music. So as we look at this project, what we did was we modeled this in AutoCAD, and you can model this in SolidWorks as well. It's just a basic shape that's been extruded, or in this case, this project has been modeled using the loft function, and we can go through that at a different time. But essentially what we did here was we exported the file. We just made the shape. We did not shell out the part. After we created the CAD model, we exported it other formats as an STL. Once I exported the STL, I opened up the Dremel software, and then I opened the file and placed it on the palette. Once I placed it on the palette, I set up the spiralize outer contour value. And I can show you how that works. Let's take a look at our build. And so we're running orange PLA, polylactic acid. That's a plant-based plastic material that's biodegradable. I don't know about the water, about its ability to not leak. I would think we may need to do some post-processing on that, where we spray it with some type of a paint or a primer that would seal it, probably a sander sealer. But with that said, the part's underway being printed, and the way this part looks, if we go through and we slice it, it prints a large volume very quickly of 376 layers, and it just prints one layer at a time, and then it goes to the next layer, to the next layer. And so if we look closely at our layers, not sure what happened there. Let's reslice it. Oh, I think there we go. So as we look at the model, and we can see the layers, we're setting this at medium quality, and it will print very quickly, 34 minutes. We did scale this down a little bit so that it would fit into the machine and print within the amount of time that we have. But essentially, we're going to print 376 layers in 34 minutes. So about 10 layers per minute, which is an excellent speed for printing these out. I'm going to pause the video. Actually, let's just redo this. Let's delete this out. And then when we import the file, I'm going to say open, and I'm going to get my vase. And the file is too big for the volume of the printer, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go and I'm going to scale it. And so if we scale this, we'll start at 80%. Still too big. We'll go to 60. And then if I move it, and it's a little tricky to work with the mouse on this, but it should grab it once it gets close enough to the part. So I'm going to drop it down, and I'm going to see if I can lay this flat. All right, I think it is flat. That's why I'm not getting that information. Maybe I'm just missing something. Let's see what happens when we prepare this. No, I don't have it flat. So I believe I have this located on the plate properly. And the reason that it's not snapping to the plate is that it's too large. And so I have to scale this down a little bit more. And then I should be, there we go. And so now it's attached to the plate. And so if I click off the model, we can set up our quality for that. We'll leave it, let's go with low quality first and just see how quickly we can do it. We can create it. And we're going to leave all the settings active, and we're going to go into the special modes, and we're going to enable spiralize outer contour. And so when we enable that, we can then prepare it. And so this part will fill the entire volume of the 3D printer and print in less than an hour. And if we take a look at our layers, we can see that it's going to print 500 layers in about 1 hour. Okay, so let's take a look at our current build. And as you can see, we have the current build, and this is a 25% model being built. Printing is 22% complete. And I'll pause the video and show the ending as we get closer to that. Here's an update of our current printed model, 35% into our print. And you can see that these 3D printers have cameras mounted in them. And so it allows us to work remotely as we can monitor the print. And we'll check back in on the progress in a little while. Okay, just another update. We're 57% complete into our 22-minute build cycle, so we're about 12 minutes into it. We're running PLA. The nozzle temperature is 228 degrees Celsius. It has a heated platform or build plate, which is this blue plate, which is 59 degrees Celsius. And then the chamber temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. The doors are closed. If I were to open the door, it would give me a notification that somebody had opened it. And this is the firmware. It tells me it's actively printing the vase G code, and the time remaining is 13 minutes. And here's our latest update, 73%. So here we are at 87%. And we should be done in about 5 minutes. Okay, so we're at 95%. We have about a minute left, and I'm going to let the video continue until the part is completed. Okay, so that completes our build of our 3D printed vase. And as you can see, we can manage these 3D printers with our slicing software. The Dremel 3D45 is set up, and we can then hook it up to the network, which I've done, which allows me to have camera view to it. On another note, we also have the ability to use the Dremel Print Cloud, which we'll take a look at in another video. The Dremel Print Cloud allows us to take a look at that 3D printer and actually do the slicing online and then actually print to a remote 3D printer. Okay, that takes care of this video.